Hey guys, it's Brandon again. So what is happening now is the modern day gold rush. And this is going to help a lot of people get wealthy. Now, I'm not going to sit and give a whole elaborate explanation of what the gold rush was, but for those who paid some form of attention in school, you know exactly what it was. For those who didn't, the gold rush was basically this. Back in the day, people migrated to the West in large numbers and was trying to find gold. And those who did became wealthy. Those who didn't find gold didn't become wealthy. Look it up. Fascinating historical event. Very big turning point event that took place in history. Also, just remember, there's this book. It's called 3 Feet from Gold. That book talked about a gentleman who did not give up in the gold rush and how he got wealthy. Fascinating story. Check it out when you get a chance. Now, what is the modern day gold rush? The modern day gold rush is basically entrepreneurship, right? Now, it sounds cliche, but it's this trend that's been going on for the last 5, 6 years where everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Everyone is becoming an entrepreneur. Athletes, actors, even people in 9 to 5, they're entrepreneurs. It's a cool thing to say. And a lot of people who have become entrepreneurs have created some form of wealth. I've been one of them. But most people are not going to succeed as entrepreneurs. So what I'm going to do in this video is break down the reasons why people will never succeed being an entrepreneur and show you a blueprint as to where we're headed and how to be successful in any economy no matter what. All I'm going to ask you to do is this. If you're stopping by to this channel for the first time, please like, share, subscribe to this content. All right. First and foremost, most people will not be successful entrepreneurs is because they are entering a saturated space. When I say saturated, don't get me wrong, you have to start somewhere. I wasn't able to run a hedge fund and go into real estate and do all the things I did just right off the bat. You have to find yourself. But the problem is this. Most people don't know when to necessarily, not quit, but transfer, right? So, for example, some people, they go into a space like selling face masks. And when they're selling face masks, nobody they're not getting a lot of business. Why? Because it's such a saturated space. Everybody now has a face mask business. You know, you cannot necessarily scale that business, and they're stuck in that business for years or months or whatever, and it's not evolving. Then they give up rather than analyzing the situation and then realizing, you know what, this is not it. Let me move to something else. The next thing is that, and these two go hand in hand. People become entrepreneurs, but they still have a 9 to 5 mentality, and also they have no economical intelligence. And let me explain. Most people go to a job that they hate. According to global statistics, 87% of people hate their jobs. And because they hate their jobs, they're miserable. They're going to this boss or this manager who have all kind of issues and mental problems in their lives, but they're telling you how to live yours, right? And it's very toxic, and a lot of jobs are disgusting environments. But people are not strong enough to walk away because they're slaves to that paycheck, and B, they're afraid of the unknown. And rightfully so. But then again, they make that transition and become entrepreneurs, and they have that same worker's mentality. Not a boss or a leadership mentality, but a worker's mentality. Because this is how workers think. They go to a job. You wake up, you pay your bill, you get paid, you pay your bills. You go out with your friends occasionally. You have no money, no savings, no investments. Then guess what you're doing now? Subconsciously, you're programmed to now look for the next paycheck. And you keep looking for the next paycheck, spending it. Looking for the next paycheck, spending it. People become entrepreneurs and then they do the same thing. For example, there are people in my program, my mentorship business, whatever, and they are successful entrepreneurs. One person in particularly makes over $200,000 a month, not net. I mean, not gross. We're talking net. This is after all expenses and net. but they have no money because every time they make some money, they're spending it. Going on, staying in the craziest hotels, going on the most lavish flights, just craziness. And their mentality is this: oh, I'm going to make it back. And that's good, that's great. But winter comes every now and then. And great entrepreneurs have a mindset that you don't work for money, money works for you. I work for money because I want to work. And I said this many times, if I decide to step away, shut down all my businesses, I'm good for the rest of my life. Because money works for me. And that's a concept many entrepreneurs do not understand. Now, because they don't understand that, they keep doing the same things over and over. And when they keep doing the same things over and over, they're going to dig themselves in a hole, and then it defeated the purpose of becoming an entrepreneur because you're still a slave to the dollar. You still lack financial freedom. And that is the whole purpose of being an entrepreneur. It's about freedom. Secondly, they don't understand the economy. Now, when people are uneducated in certain areas, they do certain things. Ignorance is bliss, and people, if you don't know, that's fine. But if you know, you're just an idiot. But economical intelligence, economical knowledge is very essential. And this is the thing that separates good entrepreneurs, decent entrepreneurs from great entrepreneurs. Economical intelligence is this. Most people, most entrepreneurs, most 9-to-5 workers, they have no idea where the world is headed. Great companies like Apple, JP Morgan, Visa, etc., Factory 7, they're able to stay ahead of the curve. And this is why they're in business for so long and are profitable year after year after year, because they see the trajectory of where the world is going. People and businesses that don't change, they become obsolete. For example, look at, and pay attention to everything right now. Look at 10 years ago. When you walked into a store, there was not an empty cashier register. We needed cashiers back then. Now, even during this Christmas holiday that passed, you walk into a store, there's like 2 or 3 cashiers open of like 10 or 15. Everyone is at the self-checkout line. There are machines now, you literally just scan your clothes, take your card out, pay, and you go your way. Technology is replacing human beings. I recently saw that they're building a machine that is doing heart surgery. So certain surgeons are going to become obsolete. Cars are now becoming automated, which means they can drive themselves. Drivers are not going to be needed. Uber drivers are going to go out of business. This is exactly what's happening. Self-flying planes. Back in the day when I was a little boy, my grandpa and I, we used to go to the farm and we used to have a pickaxe and we were tilling the soil. Now they have machines that just plow everything. And because of this, we're gonna have a mass unemployment problem. Pay attention to this. Over the last 5.5 years, what have you noticed with industrialized commercial buildings? They're gone. Trucking centers, shipping ports, they're gone. Abandoned buildings. These buildings have been abandoned for years. And what's happening is that big time real estate investors are moving in. They're either demolishing these buildings or, rebranding them and building them 20,000 square feet stories in the air. Because we have mass overpopulation and we have to now build up to sustain everybody. Right? Ridiculous. The most booming buildings in the real estate business now are residential real estate. Well, commercial. Anything over 4 units is considered commercial, but residential in terms of for people living. People are working from home now. Things are so different. So you have so many people, but so many jobs. And machines are replacing human beings. This is the new economy. Most people are not going to be needed. Right? Go to your bank tomorrow. Look how many tellers are there. Probably 1 or 2. Everybody else is at the ATM. People open up bank accounts on their phone now. Like, come on. It's right there in our faces, but we rather be ignorant to it. So now I'm giving you the blueprint, right? This is what's going to happen. People are no longer going to be needed, and the only people, well, a lot of people are no longer going to be needed, and the only people that are going to have any value in the working force are people who have the ability to implement data technology, informational technology, and engineering. Those are the only people that are going to be needed, because you need to feed these machines with certain type of data so that they can perform efficiently, and you need engineers to build this stuff. Those are the only people that are going to be needed eventually. Now, to combat this problem, and I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree, right? And I feel like this ailment that passed was a test. Now look what happened. They gave out all this money. What did people do with it? 74% of people who got this money did not need it. More money than they have ever seen in their working lives. And they blew it because they're financially stupid. Now, what's going to happen now is that because of this mass unemployment, they're going to have to supplement people. So people are getting supplemented. But what are people going to be doing with this money? They're going to be blowing it because they have a 9-to-5 mentality, and then they're going to be slaves to the financial system. But this is how you succeed as an entrepreneur. You master the game of investing. The people who are getting rich now, or who are going to be rich for the next 150 plus years, are not people who are necessarily inventing new products. It's people who are investors. Apple, Microsoft, the banks, crypto, they invest into things that are going to grow their money. That is the blueprint of being an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur has money saved, money growing, and money created. That's the whole point of everything. So if people are not mastering these skills now, while we still have some time left before this metaverse thing gets ridiculous, before we start shopping in the metaverse and people are now, slaves to this, the little time we have, the little chance we have, please master this. Because those who learn how to invest are who is going to be wealthy. Because the stock market, the equity market, it's always going to be there. There are people that I've mentored that were getting stimulus checks that had nothing, and now, in 1 year, are now six-figure earners because they learned the game of investing. And that's what's going to happen. And that's only a minuscule part of the population. So if you are stuck in the industrialized age and is not mastering this game through stocks, real estate, specifically, just to name a few. Yes, you can invest in products and everything else. But if you are not doing that, you're going to be left behind. And that's the trajectory of the economy, and that's how entrepreneurs need to start focusing. If you want to stay an entrepreneur, and if you want to be able to live freely and provide for your family. So guys, this is my video for today. It's longer. How long is that? Damn, and I got a meeting. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, and God bless. Take care.